So in yesterday's class we discussed about the history of the Python and the applications where they're using and the clients who are using Python at a high level. Today we'll try to see what are the features we have or benefits we have in Python, followed by installation. You might be already installed Anaconda, that is secondary. I'm not saying no. The reason is Python can be executed in two areas. One is in editor, the second one is IDE. Jupyter, Spider, Gluevis, all these things comes under IDEs. Editor windows are Notepad or ideally, which I'm going to be discussing now, or V, all these things. So Python has some features. So let me see whether it's recording or not. Yeah, it's recording. So it's a powerful standard library. It has some features like powerful standard library, provides many built-in functionalities for performing various operations. So should I say just given an example like a math module? It has that library, that module has inbuilt functions like 273 or 173 functions are already available. So if you want to do addition, subtraction, sin, or a tan, anything you can able to do it by just writing the syntax. You don't need to write a lengthy programming to complete your operations. So it has wide variety of the modules to complete your access. As I told you yesterday, it was 89,000 plus modules we have. So it supports interactive mode. Python can execute in two modes. One is the interactive mode, one is batch mode. So when you say interactive mode, the people who are new to the Python and are a programming language, we always suggest to go for interactive mode. That means every line, once you press enter, system is going to interact with you and it will show the result. So you will come to know whether you are doing the right direction or wrong direction, the way of programming. So you can easily interpret with the Python interpreter line by line. So when I go to Python for an example command, Python, you can see right now I'm into Python environment. I'm just typing 2 plus 2. Example. As I told you, Python can work for as a calculator. So you're getting a response immediately. So this when you're getting this kind of responses, user can able to understand whether the line what he is written, he or she written, is the right correct one or not. So the interactive and interpreter will be there between you and your program. And it supports dynamic data types. As I told you, from the shell scripting, this feature whatever you have in shell script, it has been acquired. You can say the adapted that kind of environment by in a Python source, so we can create our own dynamic data types. For an example here, x equal to 10. When you say x equal to 10, I did not define the variable called x before writing any program. Wherever I want, I can define my own variable type, and I can able to utilize it. So based on the value whatever you assign to the x, the behavior of the data type will be changed. For example, right now, x equal to 10 and type of x. You can see it's behaving like an integer. For an example, for the same x, I'm giving a name, string. So when you see type, system says as string. So these are dynamic data types. It's not predefined by me before writing any program. Wherever I want, I just mention a variable name, and based on the value what you assigned to the particular variable, the data type will be decided. Is it clear?
Mm.
Dynamic data types.
Yep.
And it supports object oriented programming. That means we are going to write a piece of program. I mean, I'm just telling in a basic example in a layman terminology. Object oriented programming is nothing but you're writing a piece of code and you're going to use that code wherever you require in entire program, entire final program. So you're writing a um, program. If you have a program like 100 lines and 20 lines of the program, you want to reuse it somewhere else in the same program. So this object oriented program will help you to do that activity. So you write a subset of program and again reuse it in the main program. That will reduce your number of lines what in a final program. In another way, I can say, if you're taking a very layman, when I have a movie, I have a hero, I have a villain. I can define a character and I can use the character wherever I want in the movie. It's not meaning that I'll create a frame, then again I'll write a one more hero, one more heroine in each screen, right? I just define that character, then I'll use it in the which screen I want it. So that is called object oriented. The same reusable code I can use it in the main program wherever I want. Amini and Giri are getting.
Mm-hmm.
So it supports all major databases. So if you have any database like HANA, Hadoop, Scala, or SQL, whatever it may be, you name it anything, it almost supports all major databases, and it can easily connect to those databases by importing the relevant module, and it can be extendable according to your needs. Can be easily integrated with other languages. So if I write some program in Python, can I able to execute in Java, or I want to communicate my front end in my Java or .NET, I want to communicate with that. Means it can be integrated with other languages by using some APIs or some translators. Simple and easy and looks like a normal English. So if I'm going back to the command prompt, you can see. Don't you think that is you cannot able to read it? So it's the type is nothing but the type of data type, and the outcome also easily you can able to understand. So this much easy, simple normal English with a minor syntaxes. That's all. Any questions? Am I going first?
No, good. I'm good.
So the same example I given here, and Python can be used as a calculator, a big calculator according to your needs, similar like your calculator, nothing else. So if you see your presentation right now, it's an interactive mode and dynamic data types. I just given an example in command prompt.
Mhm.
So x equal to 10, y equal to 10, x plus y, x minus y, x multiply y, x by y. So what are the, you don't know how the outcome is going to be x plus y since you are not a programmer, but system is responding you with an answer based on the program whatever you written. So each line you have an interactive with your program so that you can take a corrective action upfront and proactive basis than reactive basis. Now, compared to other programming languages, why Python is booming in the sense, this is also one of the reason. The shorter length of code. If you see, I want to do some kind of addition. If I want to do addition, what I need to do is in other programming languages like C or Pascal or COBOL, I have to write 10 to 15 lines of program, what you're seeing right now using Java. But the same thing I can finish in single step. So take X value, take Y value, and print X plus Y. That's done.
Mm.
So let me show you that. X equal to input of X value. Where is this? Here. Y equal to input of Y value. Print X plus Y. Done. So once you write your program, just go to run button and run. So I'm saving my file with an extension called .py in small letters. My x value is 6, my y value is 7. So what I written here? X plus y, right? Is this x plus y, x value 6, y. Something wrong with
It's
this?
taking concatenation, I think.
No, it's not supposed to be concatenate. It's supposed to be take x plus 5. Why it's taking like this? But anyway, something math function I need to be import. But you can see it here. Why it's not working? Executed. 1 second, please. The same thing I written here. Print x comma y. I'll tell you the reason. Why? So
It doesn't have the integer.
perfect. So system by default taken as a string value.
Mm-hmm.
So since I not given integer, system taken as a string value and it's stored as string. So string plus string is going to be concatenate function. If you
Yeah.
give the integer, then system will take it as an integer number and it will do the sum activity.
Mm-hmm.
You got the difference? Why?
Yeah.
Let me show you that one also for you. Where is this? 5 plus 5 equal to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is the reason why you're not getting the
Yeah.
outcome.
It's taking as a string and concatenating both the values.
Yes. So compared to other programming languages, writing the same requirement in Python is much easier, or you can say 1/4 of programming length. You can able to achieve the requirement.
Mhm.
So what are the versions we have in Python? In the sense, we have multiple versions from 1990s onwards. You can say Python 1.x. 1.x is nothing but x can be any number between 1 to 9, 0 to 9. So 1.4, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. When you say Python 2.x is nothing but 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, and so on. So the Python 1.0 started in the year of 1999, and now Python 2 has been released, introduced in 2000 year. Python 3 is released. Python 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 is released on 2008 year. Current version is 3.8, 3.8 point something. When you say there are multiple versions are launched, which version is booming right now in the market? Which are stabilized versions and acceptable by any organization in the sense? The most stable version is 2.7. Prior to 2.7, there was a discrepancy in the data. Our modules are not supporting as per expectation. Our modules are good enough to achieve the targets or achieve your requirements. So till 2.7, the Python was not stable. From the 2.7 was a stable model, and in the currently we are in 2010 year, 2020 year, so we already started using Python 3. Excuse me. When you say Python 3, there are two versions which are stable and mostly using in organizations. So the widely using version is 3.5 till last year. Now that people started using 3.8. Again, it's the latest version. So if you are going to any organization, the first thing what you're supposed to say is which version they are using. So how to know in the sense? Go to command prompt and type Python. When you type Python, you can able to see the version. So currently in my laptop, I have 3.8.1. Clear?
Yeah.
For an example, you are writing you might be installed 3.8.1 in tomorrow once you get a job, but your client is using 3.5. So there might be a chance the modules what are you utilized in 3.8 may not be available in 3.5. So the code error may come. So ensure you are going to be use the modules which are available in the previous version or use the version which others are using.
Mm-hmm.
So how to install Python in my environment means go to Python download in Google, download Python. Python.org is the official site of Python. Go to download all releases. I'll wait. If you want, you can
Yeah.
install it. When you click on all releases, you can find all versions which are released by Python from 2 onwards. So when it got released, you can select. Is it clear? Are you on the same page?
Where do I need to go for all releases?
All releases. Downloads all releases.
I didn't see that. Can you show me?
Are you in Mac or Linux?
No, I am in
Windows.
HP. Yeah.
Okay. So go to python.org/download/.
Yeah. Now I am that page.
So you can
Sorry.
find this kind of tab where you can
Okay.
find downloads all releases.
Yeah.
Giri, you are also on the same page?
No, Amar, I will download later on. Actually, my laptop is in Hyderabad.
Okay, fine. No problem.
So
So
I'm
no problems. Here you can see the versions which is released by Python and the release date when it got released. So depend on the client where you're working, just go to the particular release and select the release, the thing about the version. When you scroll down, you can find the files. There are two operating systems we are using in Windows, 32-bit and 64-bit. So when you right click on your computer, my computer, you can see operating system bit. You can see my current system is 64-bit.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, you have to find which operating system you are using right now. So the second column you can see operating system. My first column is nothing but version. Right now we are looking for Python executor or Python developer software. So go to Windows 64 executable installer. I'm not looking for zip file. I'm not looking for web-based installer. I'm looking for executable installer in operating system level. Since I'm into 64-bit, so I'm selecting multiplus 86-64. In case if you are using 32-bit, without 64, you have three more, the
Mm-hmm.
last three. So these three where you not mention 64, those belongs to 32. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are using 32-bit, Windows 86 executable installer. If you are using 64-bit, Windows x86-64 executable installer.
Okay.
So just click on that. So when you click on that one, the first page will be the system is asking. Uh, there is a checkbox called add to path.
Mm-hmm.
So add to path is the thing what is supposed to be do it. So the system is going to take your Python part and it's going to be executable using command prompt.
Mm.
If you're not checking that one, then there will be a discrepancy. Python cannot be executed as per your requirement.
Mm.
Did you find the add to path checkbox?
I'm not downloading. I'm watching the steps.
Okay, got it. Let me install. If that is the case, what I can do is I will I'll go and install the previous version. I should supposed to be installed from the lower version to the higher version, but just for showing the installation, I'm going with this mode, but not recommended.
Okay.
Always from the lower version to higher version.
Mm.
So you can see add Python 3.7 to the path. So this checkbox will be there, should be activated. Then only when you're using command prompt, system will not give any discrepancy, or else system will say that the Python is not executable, Python is not available. Some kind of discrepancy you can find.
Yeah.
There are there are two ways you can install. One is a Python now or customize installation. So I've just clicked on customize installation. The reason is if I go with the installation, system will take default library. You can see the path. There is a lengthy path like program files and everything. But I don't want to take it like that. There is another reason why I want to go for customization is I want to be ensure all these checkboxes are available or not. So I want to see the test Python test suite is available or not, and ideally where I can write my code and execute in the same location. If I want to do it, there should be a development environment. So that is called ideally should be there. And if I want to import the modules and libraries, s- so for that I require to have PAP. So these three checkboxes should be there. And when you click on next button, you can see the location where the file is going to be stored, the program files. But I'm going to take it like this. So install. Done. Your setup is completed.
Okay.
Right now, you may not able to see. When I type Python, you may not able to see 3.7. You will find 3.8. The reason is already I am in higher version.
Okay.
Once the installation is completed, go to command prompt, cmd, type Python. When you type Python, it has to enter into your Python environment with three hashes, three arrows, and it has to display the version which you are using currently. If both are coming, that means the installation is completed successfully. If these things are not available, that means there is an issue with your Python. How many Angiri are getting?
Yeah.
Yes, Samar.
I'm not installing my older version. Okay. Just in case, if you are getting this kind of issue, there might be only one reason. Add to path, which I selected checkbox in the install state that is not activated. So manually you have to select the location where install. For an example, my PC, the program files. So this is my Python location where I installed 3.8 version. 38 is nothing but 3.8. 37 is nothing but 3.7. So I'm just taking this, saving this of location where I have, and I'm going to advanced settings, advanced system settings. Go to advanced and go to environmental variables. You will find a path. There is a variable called path. Select that, click on edit, and go to new button and assign that path.
Okay.
In case if you not selected the checkbox, add a Python to the path. If you're not selected, then only this command, the issues will come. Are you getting? So those steps also are mentioned here. So just Python is a OS dependent for Linux. Or operating system is inbuilt software. I just given all the information. So I just highlighted. You need to have checkbox.
Yeah.
Since the latest version is 3.8, so I just typed as 3.8. If you forget to select the add Python 3.8 to path, system cannot be identify the Python. So if you go to command prompt and type Python, system cannot able to recognize Python, and you cannot able to execute any kind of program.
Okay.
So follow the below steps to fix the problem manually. There is no automation. You have to do manually. So copy the path. So in my case, so the path is this one. So example I'm giving. So go to system properties, advanced settings, environment variables, and add the location, whatever you have it. So select the path, edit, and add that one. Then save it. So once you save, come back to your command prompt. Then system will recognize your Python, and you can able to enter into Python environment. Clear? Any questions?
Good.
So when I come into execution modes, how many methods I have to execute a Python code means there are two methods: interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode is nothing but I'll type one line of code and I'll get a result. Then I'll go to second line, I'll get an outcome, and third line I'll execute and I'll get an outcome of third line, and so on. So it's just an interactive between you and your program. That will be very good when you're coming to a learning stage. But when you're coming to the environment like experienced guy, we are not expecting it. Generally as a developer who has rich experience, he never prefer to go for a interactive mode. He wants to go for batch mode. That means he'll write a set of line of code and save it in somewhere and execute it. So nothing but I'll write my program in notepad and I'll execute it in command prompt.
Mm.
So in notepad I have 10 lines or 20 lines or 100 lines of program. Since I know the Python code, I'll write everything together, then I'll execute in one shot. So interactive mode in the sense, here we directly type our Python statements in an interpreter and can easily communicate by line. The outcome will be immediately you'll get it. The advantage is what we have for learning Python and to do testing functionalities in Python. Batch mode is nothing but here we write a set of batch statements within the editor or IDE. Just for your information, editors are different, IDEs are different. We'll discuss in future. And save it by using the file we are going to be execute in one line, one go. So we are going to be save any file with the extension of .py. Python is a case sensitive, so all letters should be small. So if you're writing any functions or syntaxes or extension should be small. So .py extension and later submit to the Python interpreter. So the all lines whatever you have in Notepad or in the location where you save the file, it will be one go, it will be executed and final outcome will be displayed. It's not line by line. So I'll show you those things. So when you say editors, so we have Notepad, we have Edit Plus, we have V for Linux environment, for Nano for Linux environment, Get it for Linux environment. By God grace, I did not get an opportunity to work with the operating system Linux, so I don't know these three editors how it works. Edit Plus and Notepad similar like Edit Plus also similar like your Notepad only. So what we do is we can write a program in Notepad. It's not Notepad, it's Notepad. Notepad, and we'll execute in Python. In case if you are rich experience like 5 years, 6 years experience guy, and you don't want to touch Python and see the outcome, it may be a recurring job, right? You'll feel uncomfortable writing the same code and seeing the outcome multiple times. So write your program one shot and execute in one time. If you're a really experienced guy, right? Or your Python is down for some reason and you have your deadlines are coming, then what you can do is you can go with batch mode. Or you have a scheduled jobs, go with batch code. Scheduled jobs are nothing but you need to be execute the Python code in a particular time, in a particular day, or multiple days in a particular time. Go for batch mode. Clear what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And IDEs are nothing but integrated development environment. To simplify our work, we can use your IDEs. So PyCharm is one of the IDE. Generally, most of the people are using. Jupyter is for presentation and learning, interactive purpose. It's very good. And Spider is for good for testing activities. Apart from these three, we have Pydo, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, and NetBeans. All these are different IDEs which are already available in the market on open source. For an example, I want to execute this one in editor. What I can do is I will write this one into your notepad. Just let me show you. Not written. Okay. So notepad. Okay. Here. So I'm just assigning 10 value to y, 20 value to 10 value to x and 20 value to y, and I want to perform some operations. So my first operation is addition, second operation is subtraction, and third operation is multiplication, and fourth operation is division. So I'm saving this file somewhere in my laptop with an extension called py. Though it's a test file, but my extension is Python. Clear? What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So that means file here. So save 11. So my file is saved with an extension of py. Now, once you write your code, maybe 10 lines or 20 lines, I need to execute in Python environment. Then only, or Python interpreter. Then only I can able to see my results. So to go to Python environment, the only one option you have is go to command prompt, type Python space the location where you have your file, documents 1 1. Sorry, documents 1 1. So this is the location what I have my file. So properties. Maybe you can see the outcome. 30 minus 10, 200, multiplication and division. So I created my file, my program in one notepad, which is outside of my Python, and together, maybe 100 lines or 200 lines program, together executed in one shot by coming to your command prompt or a Python environment. So this is called batch mode. Giri and Amina, are you getting?
Yeah, I'm getting.
Yes, Samar.
So the same thing I just given here. So the location is Python. I mean, you have to give the syntax like this: Python and the location along with the extension. Without extension, it will not work. So I just given an example. In current batch mode, we are writing a code in a notepad. I just typed multiple times. It was my mistake. Sorry. So in one place we're writing and executing the program in command prompt. That is another place. That means two different locations you are going to write a code in your notepad and executing by going to command prompt. Don't you think that is going to be hassle for us? So we have it when you are installing your Python. If you remember, I just selected checkbox for IDLE. So that IDLE is going to be another environment of Python where you can write your program and execute in the same location. So no need to go to notepad and no need to go to your interpreter. So after installation, you can find a concept called IDLE. This is your interpreter like command prompt, and when you go to file and new, you can find a notepad together in a single go. So same thing I can see it here. So the entire program I'm going to write it here. click on run and run module. You will get outcome here. No need to go to your command prompt also. No need to write your code in Notepad. Directly you can write it here. So this is also called batch mode, but in a single environment, single place, instead of dual place. Clear? Any questions?
Good.
So same example I given. Any question? If you have any questions, I'll answer the questions, or else tomorrow we'll start with other concepts, data types.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, Amar.
What about Giri? Any questions?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Amar.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll start data types. There are two types of data types we are going to discuss. One is the traditional data types, and second one is the collection data types. So collection data types are you can say collection of multiple variables. We'll discuss in detail tomorrow.
Oh.
That the data types will take almost 3 to 4 days. So if you want to finish in half an hour, I can finish in half an hour. But thing is, since you are going as a developer, you need to know how to handle different type of data, and within the data, if you have sub data, how to handle those. So we'll go in detail of those things. It will take some time. So you need to be patient.
Mhm.
And there are some advantages which are available in one type of data type, may not be available in different data type. So what are those advantages and disadvantages also we need to know. Hope you're clear. So we'll drop for the day and tomorrow we'll continue.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.